How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Novena Diabolos. We've had 3 dates with possibly demon girls. We've found 4 pieces of evidence, and we've scrubbed the witch off the list from both of our murder cases that we've seen so far. Let's carry on, shall we? Having finished everything on my schedule, I'm back in my room, the sun already setting. In my opinion, this day went by too fast, considering we only have like 9 or whatever. Yeah. Whew. I throw myself on my cushy blanket. Everything that's happened has exhausted me. I'm too tired to move. But still, I should sort out and order everything I found out during my investigation today. Conclusions. Provide info about the motive and culprit. Conclusions. This is where the trust levels can be seen at a glance, while listing suspects at the same time. Okay. Wow. It appears there isn't enough information to arrive at a good conclusion yet. I put my phone away and fuse with my soft blanket again. Fuse with it. Feels like I'm aimlessly wandering around the fog. But if I keep going at it little by little, step by step, maybe it's... I hope we don't get talked to the other witness again. While we're sleeping, you know. 5 days, man, we're running out of time. How are we going to earn the trust of 5 potential demons and find all the evidence in the entire town without being caught by the villagers in 5 days? I wake up to the loud vibration of my phone. Actually, it's the same volume as usual, but it still feels amplified in my head. I must be very sensitive if it's enough to wake me up. I just need to get some damn sleep already. My fear of the anonymous message has all but vanished. It fully feels like a wicked, twisted game by now. 5 days until the selection. Just the message I expected. Looks like a group text intended for multiple recipients. Slightly nervous, I put my phone down. I headed for the bathroom with staggered steps. I wash my face to clear my mind a little. The more clear my mind becomes, the more aware of the state my body is in I get. With a sense of melancholy, I recall sitting on the massage chair in my favourite Jimjilbang, where I used to be a regular. That thing could get rid of all my troubles and aches at once. Thinking back in it, I bow my head a little and laugh. Thinking about a Jimjilbang in a situation like this. Funny how the human mind works when we're desperate and paralysed by reality. Apologies for murdering that word. I walk out of the bathroom and pick up my phone right away. If there was a murder today, I should have received the location via text already. But curiously, no text pops up no matter how long I wait. It seems like no such terrible incident occurred today. Oh nice, a day off from murder. Huh, it's embarrassing to admit, but for a second I somehow feel grateful to these damn monsters. It almost feels like a gesture of kindness not to be tortured with brutal murder cases for a change. Still, I know full well that this only means things are about to get even nastier after a short break. I should make the most of this temporary peace. I still have a lot of work to do. I leave the room while sighing loudly. Let's go meet one of the girls, shall we? I finish my morning walk, having a look around the surrounding terrain. I'm looking for possible escape routes for myself. Even if I pick out the human on the last day, it's all for nothing if I'm stopped in the middle of the escape. I can't let all this effort I'm putting into this be in vain. My morning routine is just about over. Time for my date now, according to my schedule. What constitutes a date anyway? I laugh at myself. Dating is a very leisurely choice of words. Still, ultimately, that's about the gist of it. I have to establish trust with these women, enough to make them believe in me and follow me on the last day when the time comes. Trust. A simple concept, yet so difficult to establish. It's important for me to meet them as much as possible and find a way to make them trust me. Alright, time to meet up with them now. Alright, let's just keep working our way down the list. Rin. Okay, I should go see Rin. Rin said she'd be at the lake. He said we have to make trust with all of them, so we might as well just spread it out. Rin Che is stunningly beautiful, the embodiment and picture of a picture-perfect city girl, which makes it really hard for me to imagine her as some sort of hellish monster. Actually, it kind of makes it easier for me. The witness mentioned that Rin might be undead. I'm still confused by that. None of it makes sense to me, and if she really is, she sure as hell doesn't look like what movies have led me to believe. I find it really hard to connect this gorgeous woman to an undead monster. Maybe she's a lich. Finding it in isn't difficult at all. She's standing by the shore. She looks beautiful. There's no one else around, which means she sticks out, and I already notice her from afar. I approach Lynn and start talking to her, showing a big, carefree smile. Hello, Lynn. What are you doing all the way out here? Oh, hello. It's you again. What was your name again? Jin Sung Park. Got it. Wow. It's painfully obvious that Lynn never made an effort to remember my name. Right. Jin Sung. I remember now. So, Jin, how's life in Hope Hill Village treating you? Staying there a while longer? Well, yeah, there's no other choice, really. The fog poses a problem. I can't leave while it's this thick. Driving is impossible with fog like this. And all forms of communication are down too. Stuck out here in the shabby countryside town. It's going to be hard for you too. You can say that again. And things will only get harder from here on out. Oh, I feel sorry for you, honestly. The way you just got dragged into such a mess. Why is that? Why are common folk so arbitrary? They make the law look like a bad joke. What's going through the head of someone illegally constructing a whole village just like that? I'm sorry, did you say illegally constructed? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know, do you? I hadn't considered that. I should fill you in. Well, I mean, she is a lawyer. No, please, keep talking. Well, you see, all the land around here is owned by our company. Our company? You mean Yongguan Construction? Yongguan Enterprises, to be precise. My father was very determined to invest a large sum of money. Your father? Huh? You didn't know that I'm Chairman Yu Yongguan's daughter? Well, Lynn sounds absolutely dumbfounded. Like me not being aware of that fact is the most absurd thing she's ever heard. Yu Yongguan, owner of Yongguan Enterprises and all its subsidiaries. He is, without a doubt, the most influential entrepreneur in Korea. His power and influence exceeds even that of most politicians. I've heard before that Yu has a daughter, but as far as I knew, she was studying abroad somewhere. Should I dig deeper? Keep listening. I wasn't aware of that at all. So, I have to ask, what is it that brings you all the way out here? One would think being a part of a family like mine is easy, right? Wrong. I can't rely on my older brothers. They're just itching for an opportunity to win a conflict with me. Even when people approach me with a smile, I have to be wary and alert them to make it in this business. In this particular situation, it's best I do this on my own and oversee things personally. As a PD, you should know this. It's common sense, to be honest. This woman, she's been criticizing me quite a lot. And not all too subtly, I might add. Actually, I'm a little shaken up and worried. It would be nice to have a man by my side to take care of me. But I've lost my driver in the fog. The least he could have done would have been to stay by my side, but I guess I'm only good enough for paying his salary. Guess I won't be hiring another backward hick from the countryside. Oh dear. Anyway, the people of this village, they must be kicked out for directly opposing our corporate redevelopment. Like I said before, it's ridiculous how they simply play dumb and ignore the law, right? They won't budge until I bring in a wrecking ball. I just can't believe that they built a whole place like this on our land. The audacity. Aren't they like parasites? If this gets inadequately reported, I'll be perceived in a certain way by the public. There are still many common people who view large corporations as the big bad wolf, isn't that so? Oh, I wonder why. Oh. I get what she's hinting at, and it feels like my soul is leaving my body. Lynn, however, keeps talking about his story as if nothing's wrong. I doubt she notices how my facial expressions turns harsher by the second. She doesn't seem like the type of person who cares much about the feelings of others, after all. So, would you be interested in doing something that is of great public interest? Well, Alright, yes? I mean, I'm sure you see the same problems I do, right? This whole village was built in defiance of the law. I refuse to turn a blind eye to these illegal practices. This is a direct attempt at interfering with our corporate affairs. They must have thought we wouldn't find out because of the land's remote location. There you have it. I'm here because I'm going to take care of this village. You can comfortably follow my instructions, and it'll be a story that's all yours to report. Yours alone. It means we both stand to gain from it. How wonderful. What she's saying sounds plausible, but That doesn't mean I have to let myself be used as her puppet to further her agenda. I look at her with a confused expression on my face. But I can tell Lynn is completely serious about all of this. She appears to be really serious about this. I don't like the way this is going. Not one bit. And of course, you'll be rewarded for your work. That's how this works. You didn't think I forgot about that, now did you? Rewarded? Living expenses, man hours, labour costs, all of that'll be taken care of by me. And don't worry, this will be worth far more than that puny PD salary, I assure you. After all, Jin, hard work requires appropriately motivating incentives. I think you understand. I've said all there is to say. This is getting more and more interesting. Furthermore, if you handle this well, I'll do my best to secure you a job at our company. I'm dissatisfied with our media department anyway, especially the public relations branch. A perfect opportunity for someone capable and competent to reorganise things over there. How about it? Sounds like something worth considering. Agree? Her face is the embodiment of confidence. In her mind, refusing her proposal is not even an option. I feel disillusioned by the absurdity of it all. Her proposed conditions are certainly enticing and not bad, but they're, how to put it, unconventional to say the least. Therein lies the problem. It's a blatant abuse of power. In her mind, a guy like me is merely a tool that would never reject an offer like this. Everything someone from my line of work hates the most is embodied in this young woman right in front of me. So all of this, is this the way you always do things? Huh? What do you mean? I mean, no thank you. First of all, I'm really curious about this place, so I'll cooperate with you. But I won't accept any sort of employment relationship like you've suggested. What is it? I'll see you later, I'm busy right now. Hey, Jin Sung. I walk away from the lake as quickly as my feet will allow it. That is not how we gain her trust. I arrive back at the village and let out a loud sigh. This is messed up. At first she struck me as someone just as unlucky as me, stuck here accidentally. In reality, things are a lot different. If there's one thing I'm proud of, it's that I didn't lash out at her and curse her out after her outrageous proposition. I shouldn't go against her. Having her on my bad side isn't a good idea. Maintaining a good relationship with Rin Che is very important to me. Still, how the hell am I supposed to deal with someone like her? I sigh one more time and move on. Time for another person? There's still some time left. Who should I visit? Hana, I guess. Okay, so some have gone up more than others. In fact, Mina's gone up the most, which is very strange because I feel like we got along best with Nadi so far. And Sumi's is very low considering she got naked and sprayed us in the face with shit. And hers is quite high, even though we treated her like shit. Hana. I mean, she asked for it. She's a dick, but whatever. Alright, Hana, let's do it. Okay, I should go see Hana. I arrive at the abandoned village. A desolate, depressing sight, forgotten and left to the relentless powers of nature. That creepy witness guy told me Hana Seihi could be the fox spirit. Nine-tailed fox? It's nuts. The nine-tailed fox is a creature of myth and legend, not something real. Did I even hear him right? I can't help but chuckle. What kind of sick version of reality have I ended up in here? I stroll through the abandoned village and carefully observe my surroundings. It's a weird feeling. The fact that Hana could supposedly be some sort of evil creature scares me. On the other hand, I'm on edge because I can't find her. The motel owner said that she should be somewhere around here. At a ruined, desolate shack, I turn around the corner while lost in thought. There you are. Having heard the sound of my voice, Hana turns around. The two of us just stare at each other for a moment. Came back for round 2 of getting roasted? You some kind of masochist? Pardon? The awkward atmosphere is made somewhat better by a casual quip. Or is it? You heard me loud and clear. What are you doing in a place like this? I try to talk to Hana, skillfully ignoring her teasery threats. Tasery threats. Oh shit, the taser, that's right, I forgot she has a taser. And yep, she's ignoring me. Damn, this whole situation is beyond awkward. She's looking around all over the place, searching for something, all while seemingly ignoring my existence. There's something I've been meaning to talk to her about. Hana? That day, when we saw the grisly scene, are you doing okay? Yeah? Awkwardness strikes back with full force once again. Jin Sung. Yes? What brought a program director all the way out here? Well, I pause for a moment to think about my answer. I worry about how much about me I can openly tell Hannah. I can't exactly mention all that demonic stuff and talk about rituals and monsters. Then again, aren't clumsy lies the way to go? That's simply a house of cards bound to collapse. It's okay, we only got 5 days. We can keep it up for 5 days. With that in mind, I go with... I came here chasing a case that I'm in charge of. It's a missing person case. Quite a big one, actually. Missing persons, is that so? A big one, you say? How big are we talking? Hannah's attitude seems to have changed slightly. We're talking big. Many missing persons from multiple areas. They've all disappeared at the same time. Big enough to be labelled as a mass disappearance case. That's a little weird, but still, people go missing all the time. It's nothing too unusual, right? It would only be peculiar if all the missing people were one singular group, so to speak. Something like this doesn't just happen out of the blue on such a grand scale. Once this gets reported, with broadcasts running all night long, that's when the severity becomes clear. Also, you can't forget to add the murder that happened here to the list. Or rather, the death. Let's call it that for now. We can't be sure that it's murder yet. But as you saw for yourself, it's not an ordinary death. Religious symbols, strangely arranged objects all over the place. The bizarre deaths directly related to the missing persons case. It's very likely that this is much more than the run-of-the-mill disappearance case. So what you're saying is you plan to continue covering the case? What's with the sudden interest in my work, Miss Lawyer? Oh, you're the lawyer, whoops. Huh, looks like I hit a sore spot. Hannah looks pissed. Having turned the tables this time, I feel triumphant for a moment, although I'm honestly confused. She's shown nothing but disinterest in everything I've had to say so far. Why is she curious all of a sudden? Well, yeah, I intend to keep covering the case. I've been working on the missing persons case for a while now, and it's led me here. I plan on following every clue I find. Hannah looks at me and seems to be thinking about something, then points to a place right behind me. Got a moment to go in there and talk? Hannah seems ready to share something she has kept to herself until now. I nod and we enter the abandoned building together. For as shoddy as the place looks, it's doing a good job of keeping the biting wind at bay. Hannah looks around and sits down on a creaky chair, but not before using a handkerchief to brush off the dust. There's another chair on the floor next to Hannah, but I choose to lean against the wall. It's cooler that way. Yeah, so cool. Okay, let's talk. Hannah glances at the chair on the floor. I feel like she wants to say something, but then she turns her head up and looks at me. She wants to say, "You're a fucking fool." Actually, I'm here because I'm looking for someone. Someone who also went missing a while ago. Wait, really? Can you give me more details? The person that's missing is a friend of my father. Initially, it was being treated like a missing persons case. But as time has passed, it's turned into a suspected murder. A murder case? Yes. And as it stands, my father's supposedly involved. And when you say involved, you mean... My father's being framed and treated as a suspect in the murder case. He's being labelled as an unscrupulous killer who murdered his friend. That's why I chose to investigate this disappearance myself. If I find him alive, that is, my father will no longer have to be a target for false accusations. Following the trail led me all the way out here. Hannah, can I ask you something? What is it? Am I right to assume that the reason you're telling me this... Why did Hannah tell me about the disappearance? Connected cases, yeah. Do you think there's a connection between the missing persons case and the one you're working? Hannah looks a little troubled upon hearing my question. I hope she can tell me everything and that we can share our information. She seems somewhat hesitant. Yes, that's correct. Since you're covering the case, I assume you must have access to a list of people that have gone missing. And if your father's friend is on there, our two cases are without a doubt linked. I try to process all the information I've found so far. For the first time after the devil's assault on my senses, I feel like my journalistic instincts are finally reawakening. What's the name of this missing person? His name is Sungyun Kwon. Sungyun Kwon. Is he on the list of people you're looking for? I've gone over the list of names hundreds of times already while covering the case. If Sungyun's name was on there, I would have remembered it already. However, no matter how hard I think, I don't recall having seen that name before. I'm afraid not. That's the first time I'm hearing that name. The two of us stay silent for a while. My mind is racing. There's so much going on in my head. We both shared what we know, but we have no real results. We need way more details and specifics if we want to get to the bottom of this. While I'm still mulling things over, Hannah suddenly gets up. Let's leave it for now. What? I hesitate and clumsily take my back off the wall that I'm leaning against. There's so many unanswered questions. Why does she want to call it quits? But I'm still trying to figure out. Let's focus on gathering more information. Hannah brushes off some dust that's stuck to her pants from sitting in the chair as she speaks. We can do this. Let's meet up back here if we find anything. First, we should focus on the true nature of this disappearance case. That death and the case seem to stem from the same root after all. I can only guess right now, but the disappearances seem to have a deep connection to Hope Hill Village. So looking around should provide valuable clues. To sum it up, our focus is on missing persons. That's the key. After we both finish digging around, let's meet back here and talk about our findings. I doubt anyone will find us here. Hannah, now dust-free, heads for the door already. Her attitude offends me a little. We're both pursuing the same leads, working the same case. Despite this, she's trying to play it overly cool. I guess working and being sociable don't go hand in hand. Oh yeah. Just before leaving this dump, Hannah stops and turns around. How'd you know I was here? I'm sorry, what? You said there you are when you saw me, remember? That means you clearly came here looking for me. So how'd you know? She sounds awfully harsh. Seriously, is this woman still suspicious of me? Even after everything we've talked about? The motel owner told me you'd be somewhere around here. That old creep? Even though I purposely avoided him and tried to keep it a secret? The motel owner's ugly grimace pops up in my head, his overly excited voice, his unsettling eyes following me. As expected, the motel owner is on the devil's side. Whether as a simple 7 or more, I don't know. However, I can't exactly just talk about demons and the devil with Hannah out of nowhere. My answer will be... Ask back? You came out here to avoid the motel owner. Why? This whole place feels strange, but something about him in particular makes me uneasy. He always seems to know way too much about me, about what I'm trying to do. He always knows which places I've been to, as if I'm constantly being monitored by him. But forget I just said anything. I probably worry about it too much. After Hannah finishes speaking, she turns away and leaves the house. With Hannah gone, I try to sort my thoughts. Hannah's clearly not willing to let her guard down around me just yet, a natural reaction, given the circumstances. An unknown remote village, a dead body, a stranger who's never been here before. Honestly, I probably wouldn't trust myself either. Even being fully aware of all that, I can't help but feel a little frustrated. I scratch my head and start walking. I shouldn't preoccupy myself with this now. There are still many other things that I have to take care of. Do we get to explore again? I enjoyed that. That was my favourite. Yeah, it's time for lunch already. The people of this village will go inside and stay there around this time. I don't really care about them. Let them mind their own business. For me, this short space of time presents a chance, an opportunity. I've quite a bit of time today. Where should I explore? I mean, we should probably finish the forest, right? Let's just move on to the next part of the forest. Construction site. I go to the construction site west of the forest. A construction site located west of the forest, this village was made only for the devil. It seems like the necessary construction materials were procured from the forest. In other words, the villagers visited this place a lot. They probably left a lot behind. Okay, I should focus on this place today. I spot a wooden box. It's pretty heavy. It seems impossible to force it open. It even has a lock. It's a password lock. What's the password? I need it to open the lock. I'm sure we'll find it. I think it'll only work if I know the password. Yes. I spot a paper carton. Someone left it behind. I open the box to see if there's anything useful inside. It's a book giving off an ominous vibe. It's titled Undead Survey Diaries, Volume 5. These are the writings of a novelist who conducted research regarding the undead. The villagers appear to have gathered info on the undead with the help of these diaries. I see. This will help me understand the identifying characteristics of the undead. Okay, this is important evidence. I put the book in my bag. Alright. A rough-looking pouch. After I open the zipper, I find some cosmetics inside. Somehow I think these won't be of much help. I rummage through the pouch some more. What's this? This is a bishop's textbook. It might contain some valuable information, right? I put the textbook in my bag. There are several wooden boxes here. Looking through them one by one, I discover some unintelligible writing in several books. It doesn't look like it could be used as evidence. Damn. I click my tongue annoyed and get back up. This was a waste of time. There are so many boxes. It'll take some time to check all of them. This'll take a while. I roll up my sleeves. Damn, the boxes are all empty. I turn around disappointed. It's full of paper. Could there be something? I rummage through the piles of paper without much hope. I see. So that's an O. That's a 1. That's blank. That's blank. That's blank. That's blank. Those ones are filled in. Those ones are filled in. Just write that down. I'm glad I got a thing here. Discovered a note with unknown painting on it. What does this mean? Have a look at it for a moment for 4 parts. It's the lock. Duh. There's nothing but dry grass and bare trees. I checked the bushes just in case, but I can't even find any garbage. There's nothing here. I should look elsewhere. I'm running out of places to look, frankly. Do you think this is right? It looks like it'd be like 7, 8, 4, 5? No? Seven, 8, 4, 5. Is that the button to make it go? No. This must be the answer then, though. It says O there and 1 there. It's upside down. O there and 1. Oh man. I'm so dumb. So that's 6, 7, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Finally. It's successfully unlocked. I throw away the lock and open the box. It's a book about past events. It's titled Fox Spirit Hunting Diaries Volume 2. This is the story of a hunter who tried to catch the legendary nine-tailed fox. The villagers have studied this fox, spirit traits with the help of this book. In that case, this is more than just an old fantasy story. Alright, that's important evidence. I put the book in my bag. Come on, I can't open this though. I don't know what the painting means. I just use it to solve the puzzle. Doesn't that mean I'm out of things to look at? We need to do some pixel hunting by the look of it. Oh, here we go. One bag in particular stands out. There are so many bags around here. I open the bag and take a look inside. An occult magazine is sandwiched between some meaningless novels. Monthly Satanism. Ooh, the latest issue of Satanism Monthly. I rifle through the pages and find some interesting stuff. This might be able to give me some hints about the town. I stuff the magazine into my bag. I'll read it later. Oh. One relatively clean box stands out from all the rest. Let's see. I open the box. I find a useful book among the rest. It's about the undead. I don't know if this will be helpful, but I should take it with me. I looked around some more, but I couldn't find anything else. That's all for now. Alright, we're going to read the records. I took too long. I should go before the villagers find out. Before we wrap the episode up, I want to go through the records and do some stuff like that. So we're going to do that. Alright, so let's start with this one here. We're not going to read them until we start at like number 1 or whatever. But this should give us something. Brutalized. That's how they were summoned? Is that what that is? No. Way of killing. Oh, right. Fox Spirit Records. Samont. That's interesting. So case 1, language is Samont. So that means Fox Spirit, very likely. Way of killing, brutalized. So not undead. Okay, let's check the second case. Pierced, So pierced means we don't need undead anymore. So I assume that doesn't mean brutalized, right? Speak Samont. Not ancient language, so we can cross out Fox Spirit here. Good. That's looking pretty good. We're down to Vampire and Succubus on that one, and we're down to Vampire, Succubus, and Fox Spirit on that one. Let's check the village logs real quick. Year 20XX, Advent Letter from the Diocese. May Mammon's touch reach you all. My dear fellow believers, our flock has suffered terribly over the past few decades. With our Lord and Shepherd Mammon to guide us, without our Lord and Shepherd Mammon, we have collectively vowed to view Mammon's disappearance as not just a lamentable crisis, but also a challenge and true test of faith. We have all endured so long, honouring his name after he died, protecting his rightful throne from the enemy. Everyone, I hereby officially declare the coming year the year of resurrection. If we keep praying and showing unwavering faith, Satan will surely bestow upon us the knowledge required to resurrect Mammon. My dear beloved community, not much longer, an era of greatness is nigh. Keep your hearts strong and your prayers honest on this glorious Advent Sunday. Bishop Q. Won Kim. Cool. Let's do monsters. Something trying to move while the whole body is stiff makes for a grotesque image. To many people, an apt comparison would be the Western equivalent of a zombie. However, the Chinese creatures are not mindless hulls that aimlessly shuffle about. Far from it, their magic turns them into a very different, much more dangerous kind of threat. Surprisingly, a lot of them are even able to fly, or at least float. There have been reports of flying undead, laying waste to villages in both Korea and Chinese provinces. Another magic trick of theirs is to assume the role of a living person. According to old Chinese records, a man named Zhang Gui was possessed by a young beauty and slept with her, yet awoke next to a rotten corpse. They can possibly possess many other abilities, with documented instances of them having caused droughts, transforming into great beasts, and even spitting fire. It should be obvious that these are far more than just reanimated corpses, but instead beings with fearsome abilities, who in modern times often hide, walking among the living. And we got this one, Monthly Satanism. Satanachia and the Sin of Lust. Derek Allen, 21st century demonologist, published an interesting theory in which he claims that the demons representing the seven sins can change. This magazine will publish Mr. Allen's various theories so as to educate our esteemed readers. Described as a very powerful demon, Satanachia is also known as Baphomet, is so strong that Mr. Allen suggests it is likely that Satanachia took the throne of lust from Asmodeus. In Catholic teachings, lust is the sin of being driven and giving into sexual desires. Those that descend into sexual depravity often stoop to despicable lies such as rape and molestation, causing great harm to others. According to Mr. Allen, Satanachia, Baphomet, is a very lewd demon said to have been targeting humanity's weakness, lust, for ages already. Mr. Allen warned us that because of its sinful influence, more people end up unable to control their perverted sexual desires. Today, it is safe to say our society is more civilized than in the past. However, a suppression of such powerful instincts can easily lead one to succumb to the foul demon's temptation. Satanachia makes sure to always keep these sinful urges in our minds. It is up to us to remind ourselves that we need to keep our hearts and minds clean. Written by reporter Jin Ho Lee. And that is all our new information. There's some time left. Where else should I look? Oh, we get to do another search. Cool. Well, we're going to wrap this one up here. And in the next one, we're going to go hunt down some more clues. Man, I'm really enjoying the clue hunting and scrubbing off the names. We've only had 2 cases so far, and we've nearly cracked both of them already. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.